Thank you. 21 minutes after 11 o'clock. Nice looking Monday. Hope you are doing well. This morning there was a story, and we have a guest who can talk about autism. The story was saying basically that children with autism may have a harder time reading facial expressions, and I just found that interesting, and it might explain a whole lot. You know, when you're talking to a child who has autism, in the work that Robin and I do outside of radio when we do music for children, it is interesting to see the different reactions that we get. On the phone, is this right, Robin? Michael Rosenoff?
Yes, he's on the phone.
Michael Rosenoff is on the phone. April is Autism Awareness Month. Good morning, Michael. Thank you for being on the air with us today.
Hi, good morning. It's my pleasure.
Where are you? Where are we calling?
Well, I'm here in the New York office for Autism Speaks. A lot of your listeners, I'm sure, are familiar with us. We're the world's largest autism science and advocacy organization in the world. And as you mentioned, April is World Autism Awareness Month, so we're just trying to get the word out about, what we can do to celebrate World Autism Awareness Month, talk about what autism is, and really this year more than ever, we're trying to move from just talking about autism in the sense of building awareness to starting a conversation around acceptance and being able to really support individuals with autism in our communities.
Yeah, I think everybody here at this radio station knows somebody with autism, or more than one person. Robert and I have worked with one of the local. We have a great school here in our community called New Horizon that works with autistic children, and the difference that they make. And again, we're just amateurs because we do a radio show. We don't work with the kids directly, but from what we've heard, the difference that somebody who's really doing it right can make is all the difference in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned it, and the reason why we're really talking is because everybody knows someone or will know somebody affected by autism. And 1 in 68 kids in the U.S. are estimated to have autism today. And one of the things we forget, though, is that these kids with autism become adults with autism too. It's a lifelong condition, and we estimate that 50,000 children with autism age out of their services. They reach 18 years old and enter adulthood. And so we're also trying to focus on how we can improve lives of adults, adolescents, and adults with autism, how we can help with the transition from school age to, what happens after school, and in many cases trying to find individuals with adult employment opportunities, trying to teach employers out there that although folks with autism might have difficulty in social situations, maybe they have difficulty seeing and understanding facial expressions. A lot of individuals with autism have skills that are employable and can certainly work in the workplace and earn a living with a little extra support.
The extra support, that's the interesting part. The article, I don't want to read somebody else's article. It was in the news this morning, though. But what it was implying is that that observation about children and their inability, it's not inability, but the way they interpret facial expressions differently than a child without autism, is teachable. It's just a different way of teaching. That's all. And so, as adults, they would be able to function better in social settings, I would think.
Yeah, really. There's two broad ways that we try to improve the lives of individuals with autism. One is by providing services and interventions to those individuals themselves, and definitely there are programs out there that help teach young individuals with autism how to better understand facial expressions and react to them, certainly. And there's a lot of technology that's helping with that too, like the front-facing camera on your iPhone or using Microsoft Connect. So that's really exciting about providing those types of services to improve the difficulties. But at the same time, also individuals in the community can learn how to better work with folks with autism. Understanding that there might be a difficulty understanding these social cues, or maybe an individual with autism doesn't have language. There are ways to support these individuals by learning more about what autism is, and really just improving the environment around that person to help them reach their full potential, whether it be in school or in the workplace or in home or in the community.
What is the importance of acceptance by your peers for a young person? I was watching this video, and the video is one of these viral videos, has a million hits or whatever, and there's a school age, I think it was a girl, and she was singing the song from the movie Frozen, and she forgot the words apparently, and the other kids, her classmates, helped her. They started singing along, so they were very supportive of her. And of course, that's why it's viral, because it's a good feeling, that to see that people are loving one another instead of hurting one another. But I'm wondering how that affects. It must affect them in a very positive way when they see other people supporting them.
Well, I mean, kids, they don't come in with any sort of preconceived notion about, who's normal and who's not.
Yeah.
They just want to make friends, and so it's important that if you teach kids at a young age about what autism is and how some of their classmates might have autism, and it might make them, a little bit different. They might they might like to do certain things or not like to do other things. That just makes a much more caring and understanding environment as those children become adults. And that's going to be so important to, reaching our goal of having a very inclusive society. I should mention that today, Sesame Street actually just launched it's their first new character in I don't know how many years, but it's a character named Julia.
Oh, I read about her. Yes.
Yeah, just today that episode premiered on HBO and PBS, and so we welcome our community to check that out. I mean, the idea is that this character has autism. She's a little different, but obviously Elmo and Abby, everyone wants the Big Bird. They want to hang out with her, so they're just trying to figure out how to make it more comfortable for her, while everybody has a good time.
And I think adults can learn from that, because it seems like Larry was saying children are more accepting of differences, but adults have a really hard time with that.
Oh, it's so important. I mean, you're sitting there, you're going to be watching Sesame Street with your kids, right? So it's not just your kid learning, it's the adult who's sitting there learning as well. And I think we've come to a point, in our society where, these types of conversations are now happening. Autism is not as highly stigmatized as it was. I mean, it's still difficult for people to talk about it, maybe because they don't really understand it. But the understanding has increased so much thanks to World Autism Awareness Day and the activities around April 2nd every year. Again, the conversation is not just one about, well, what is autism? Now it's, well, how can we help those with autism? And it's just so important.
Yeah, and let's take this conversation there. How do we help you with what you're doing?
Well, I mean, first of all, your listeners are already helping us. I mean, we've got such a great following in the Florida area and all around our country. Most folks are visiting either our website, which is www.autismspeaks.org, or on our Facebook page, or following our Twitter feed. We're trying to put information out there about how we can work together and how the community can help us. Really, if you're interested in learning more about autism and more about World Autism Awareness Day, our website is the best place to go. And we also have a calendar of local community events there. So you just put in your zip code, and it will tell you what types of activities are happening this month, so you can support your local autism community.
Wow. Marvelous.
Well, thank you so much, Michael, for being on the air with us today. And the Light Blue campaign, is that all month long?
Yeah, so we try to celebrate all month long. Obviously, April 2nd, which is World Autism Awareness Day, is the day where we ask folks to light up their homes and their landmarks in blue. But really, throughout the month, I mean, I have my blue light bulbs on at my house, and everyone in the office has been wearing blue all month long. So we encourage you to wear blue or light up your home blue, or you can find our Autism Speaks puzzle piece pin or lots of products on our website that can help you celebrate the lighted up blue aspect of World Autism Awareness Month.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you so much for being on the air with us today, and thank you for what you've chosen to do with your life. You're making the world a better place. Michael Rosenoff, thank you.
Thank you.
We will be right back.
News Radio.